I used the button to clean the CPAP machine, and I worried about how dirty it was.
Well, with the cleansing, I just catches at the tube, and within minutes it's clean.
They love the price, too.
A secret evacuated oxygen that is created by CleanZone's internal ozone generator. Plus, it's lightweight, compact, and portable.
I looked at other CPAP cleaners, and when I compared quality and price, CleanZone was my clear choice.
I can sleep with the peace of mind knowing that I'm breathing clean. CleanZone works with virtually all make and model CPAP machines. It's powered by a long-lasting rechargeable battery and is maintenance-free. Just plus, and CleanZone does the rest. You've seen other CPAP sanitizers sell for over $400, but you won't pay that much. Call Global Shop Direct or go online now and get CleanZone for the low price on your screen. You'll get the CleanZone CPAP sanitizer with 200 adapters, the sanitizing zip valve, and the USB charging cord. Plus, as an added bonus, you'll also get the CleanZone Deluxe storage bag. CleanZone makes sanitizing your CPAP a breeze. But if you're not completely satisfied, just send it back within 30 days for a full refund of the product price. So you'll get the complete CleanZone CPAP system plus the bonus deluxe storage bag, all for one low price. That's a great price for a great night's sleep. Call or go online to order your CleanZone today.
This report is brought to you by Harvey Norman for everything you need: furniture, bedding, electrical, and technology. And welcome back. I'm Adam Straney. It was unusually warm across Tassie today. The cooler change on the way as showers and storms all over the state. No, you're reminding us that we should all go to the Botanic Gardens to soak up the beauty of the Japanese walking bridge. Now is the time to snap an email and then you email it to the address on your screen. Patchy morning fog with showers developing in parts today and thunderstorms still likely this evening. King Island had strong winds for the third day in a row. Not just gusty tomorrow, not as gusty tomorrow. Humid and mostly sunny for Scottsdale. Hobart maxing out to well above the February average of 27 degrees. And Goodwin slipped back into the single digits overnight before warming for a pretty good day too. On the charts, a cold front will move over Tasmania this evening as trough lingers about the northeast. You can see it there moving right across. A high-pressure system in the Bight will then move towards Tasmania tomorrow as another trough brushes the south of the state early on Friday. Onto our waters across to the north, we've got winds up to around 25 knots. In the east, the seas and swell to around about 2 metres. The winds will be pretty strong in the south, getting up to 30 knots. And in the west, the those swells up to around about 3 metres. Taking a look at the forecast tomorrow, showers extending statewide from late morning with a strong wind warning that's been issued for the southeast and the southwest coast. Devonport, 24 degrees. Launceston to around about 20. And Swansea getting to 23 degrees as well. Queenstown just 18. Mount Wellington, 14 degrees. And Toowoomba to 22 degrees as well. Let's take a look at the days ahead for Burnie. Mostly sunny with a little bit of cloud lingering into next week. For Launceston, more very similar conditions, but with temperatures building over the weekend. And then Hobart, but cloudy conditions at times. Otherwise, should be fine and mostly sunny. It's good news. We've got a great week ahead, Bruce.
Nice stuff, Adam. Thank you very much for that, and thank you very much for your company across Tasmania. It's Wednesday, February 9th. That is how we saw you move. We'll leave you tonight with all the excitement of the Hobart Cup Barrier Draw. I'm looking forward to you tonight at 5:30.
This has been a Blue News presentation. Blue News, Central Australia's #1 news source.
Tonight in Night News, Scooter Menace. A shattered little boy tells of his trauma after a selfish rider on the motor and ran away. Breaking news, a Labor MP sensationally crossed the floor to move over the back road into red shirts. Police
Tame bombshell, former Australian of the Year, says he was warned not to criticise the PM. Richard Pusey back behind bars for posting a photo of a dying police officer online. Matthew Guy's call was scrap mask mandates after being hit without one. And Sydney's punt on a Melbourne Cup invitation gets laughed out of town.
This is Melbourne's 9 News with Peter Hitchner.
Good evening. A rogue e-scooter rider has powered into an 11-year-old boy, leaving him for dead outside an ice cream shop in Port Melbourne. The man pointedly honoured his family before fleeing the scene. Mary Clay has this exclusive report.
1 minute, Leon Krishnishi is enjoying an after-school treat. Next, he's taken out by an e-scooter.
It was just like so scary, especially for a young kid like me.
The 11-year-old boy was at an ice cream shop on Bay Street, Port Melbourne, when he was struck.
I didn't even see the scooter coming. It just happened like randomly behind me. It was just shocking.
While the grade 6 students lay injured on the concrete, the rider bolted, even trying to take the lime scooter with him.
He didn't even say sorry to me. He just like ran.
Leon's parents were joined by strangers who chased after the man, who had no intentions of sticking around. He was putting his fingers up saying, "F you." Leon was treated by paramedics for bruising and a bump to his head, but says he still has nightmares.
He was crying and he was in pain. He was complaining for the last 2 days, and it's not a pleasant situation.
Police say the scooter rider allegedly assaulted one of the witnesses as he fled the scene. Leon's mother suspects the man may have been drug affected.
It could be even worse if something like that would happen to an elderly, because the kid, maybe they can bounce off faster.
For police are cracking down on the misuse of electric scooters. Investigators are following up a number of leads.
Straight after that, there was another scooter, unrelated, driving really fast. Again, I think they should do something about this.
Mary Ty, the news.
A Labor MP has dropped a red shirt bombshell, voting to have her colleagues investigated by the anti-corruption watchdog. Stephanie Anderson has the breaking news from State Parliament step to broke ranks.
Peter was Labor's member for the Western Metropolitan Region at Kishalia Vigella. Now, she sits in the upper house. She's a known ally of Adam Somyurek, who is that disgraced former Labor government minister. And she's also missed out on pre-selection on the ALP ticket for this year's state election. Today, it was Somyurek who she stood in solidarity with this afternoon. He moved that motion in the upper house that the red shirt talk that played out ahead of the 2018 state election should be investigated as for corruption. Now, Somyurek wants both IBAC and the Ombudsman to look into it. He's been saying it for days now. He finally got his moment on the floor of the upper house. He says he's also in the firing line. Yesterday he admitted that he was also corrupt in this process. And here's what he had to say about the Premier.
He was desperate. He did something well beyond what he should have, topped the line. He designed this system. He told me personally that you've got to take part in the process because you want to win a lot. And that reflected himself at the time. We signed false documents saying that our staff work in our offices and work for the ALP campaign. Right? That flipped an election.
That response to that person. I'm just not getting into a debate with you about anything ever.
Now, after Somyurek's motion was supported 19 votes to 7 about an hour ago, the government sent through a statement to me. They say anything deferred to the Ombudsman is a matter for her. The opposition, though, is much happier to speak about this. Matthew Guy says he hopes this will spark a new investigation.
This government is distracted. They are focusing again on themselves.
Now, both IBAC and the Ombudsman have provided statements to me in just the last 20 minutes or so. Pete, both say they accept any referral that is given to them before they determine whether or not an investigation needs to be opened. So certainly a case of watch this space.
Stephanie Anderson, State Parliament. Former Australian of the Year, Grace Tame, has revealed she was threatened not to criticise the Prime Minister ahead of the awards. The sexual abuse survivor and Whitney Higgins delivered powerful speeches today, demanding action, not words, from our leaders. Here's Chris Ullman.
Two fearless women,
two shocking stories.
I was raped on a couch in what I thought was the safest and most secure building in Australia.
I was targeted, stalked, isolated, groomed, and repeatedly raped as a minor by a known serial pedophile.
Brittany Higgins and Grace Tame have shaken the halls of power in their quest to end sexual abuse, but both say they want more than words of apology.
Too little has changed.
Reviews, reports, delays, and distractions.
Their most withering words were aimed directly at the Prime Minister.
I didn't want his sympathy as a father. I wanted him to use his power as Prime Minister.
Grace Tame has asked how the Leader of the Opposition could do better in government.
All Anthony would have to do is none of the things that Scott's done.
And the former Australian of the Year levelled a damning accusation.
Not 5 months after being named Australian of the Year, I received a threatening phone call from a senior member of a government-funded organisation asking for my word that I wouldn't say anything damning about the Prime Minister on the evening of the next Australian of the Year awards.
She claimed the unnamed official said the Prime Minister might fear what she had to say.
And then I heard the words, you know, with an election coming soon.
There was no indication that this call was instigated or endorsed by the Prime Minister, and Grace Tame would not elaborate.
Are you willing to name the individual or the organisation?
I reckon if I was willing to name either, I would have put them in the spill.
Scott Morrison's office issued a statement saying those comments were not made on behalf of the Prime Minister or the Prime Minister's office or with their knowledge. The lead was no less charged in Parliament as MPs debated a controversial religious discrimination bill that split the Liberal Party. In its current form, I cannot support this bill. Those opposed to the bill say it will open the vulnerable to state-sanctioned discrimination. Labour's Stephen Jones recounting the tragic suicide of his nephew Ollie. Who gave he was without his gender, and he struggled with his mental health. But now he's gone. But it's the religious exemptions already written into existing law that are causing most concern, so Labor will move to make changes. The thing that every parent of every gay or trans kid knows is the love and protection that we provide for them inside our family and inside our homes is not enough. This is sensitive ground both for the Parliament and the Prime Minister, whose leadership will be tested on the passage or failure of this bill.
Political editor Chris Yulman is with me now. Chris, it's been 2 weeks of brutal attacks on the Prime Minister. How much damage is it doing to his election chances?
Well, I think anyone's instinctive reaction would be a lot, and that matters a lot because the Coalition's last election campaign rested entirely on his shoulders. Damage to Scott Morrison is damage to his government's chances of holding power. The constant public shredding of his character will fuel the community concerns about the Prime Minister that both parties and public polls have registered over the last year. And tonight he faces another test, having staked his authority as leader on the passage of the religious discrimination bill. With his own MPs threatening to jump ship, it'll be a not long night for the Prime Minister Pete, as a bad fortnight could get considerably worse.
Chris Yulman in Canberra. Thanks, Chris. Richard Pusey is back in handcuffs, accused of posting a heinous image of a dying police officer online. As Adam Haggerty reports, it happened just days after a state memorial was held in honour of the 4 officers.
The new submission to the Richard Pusey court gets collection in custody and in fresh hot water. The 44-year-old's online presence already well documented. Here, he feels himself driving on the very freeway when he took images of 4 officers dying. Vision, it appears, is safe. Tonight, he stands accused of posting one of the photos online as he targeted this Collingwood Porsche dealership, writing on a Google review when he spends $333,000 to $550,000 on a car you expect to be able to extend the warranty. It's to this, it's alleged, he attached the heinous image. It's almost 2 years since Pusey's Eastern Freeway antics, and just days since the state and families paid tribute to Lynette Taylor, Kevin King, Glenn Humphreys,
Back to the last Josh. Our World Cup.
Pusey's post followed that service. He's charged with 2 menacing offences: the Ford dealership message on Monday and another to the Australian Financial Complaints Authority on November 25, as well as 2 counts of committing an indictable offence whilst on bail. This afternoon, Pusey fronted court via video link in a brief hearing. He didn't ask for bail and so remains in custody. He'll return yet again in 2 weeks. And Higginson, 9
Matthew Guy has refused to apologise after he and his shadow ministers ignored mask rules inside Parliament. Instead, the opposition has used the embarrassing stuff-up to push for the removal of face-covering mandates. Reid Butler has the story.
Far from sheepish, agreed that the Liberals defiant after their mask was meet and greet with Kevin Sheedy inside Parliament.
Masks in high-risk settings are important. Masks in business settings are not.
Their fresh faces and big smiles caught the attention of Victoria Police. Matthew Guy insists it wasn't deliberate, but is using the blunder to call for change.
These rules are confusing. I can tell you from a parent of primary school students, they are confusing. They're confusing for parents and they're confusing for students. Why didn't have a mask on? Play the fine. I'll just play the fine.
Really? The opposition says any penalties will be paid, but calls to scrap indoor mask mandates, like New South Wales intends to, are getting louder from business leaders
When you're sitting at your desk, you should be able to take your mask off.
to local traders, like Dandenong butcher Robert Boyle.
We're also cooking meat upon stones, heat. It's just stifling sometimes.
Canberra thinks Daniel Andrews is stifling the tourism industry after the Premier said international visitors should have to stick to the same mandates as Victorians if Otago changes the definition of fully vaccinated to include 3 shots.
I just urge them to reconsider in that regard and to back in Commonwealth Health advice that says we can go with a double dose or doctor remove and don't think there's necessarily a member of the target. Let's like to see what the party comes up with.
Media on the Premier's side, close to 50,000 people responded to this 9news.com.au survey, and 66% agreed international tourists should be triple vaxxed to come to Australia. The matter will be discussed at National Cabinet tomorrow, and a decision on the definition from Otago is imminent. Industry leaders I spoke to today said that not allowing double-dose international arrivals into Victoria is a bad idea and would only spell more trouble for struggling businesses, particularly here in Melbourne's CBD. We're expected to find out more on exactly what that definition change will mean following National Cabinet tomorrow, and that will happen in the afternoon. As that debate continues, our case numbers remain stable, under 10,000, and encouragingly, peak hospital admissions continue to fall. Now, 542 Victorians being treated tonight. Pete?
Okay, thank you, Reid Butler from Sydney. 2 AFLW teams have been given the all-clear to fly in and out of Perth this weekend. Despite Western Australia's hard border stance, while many Victorians remain separated from their families. Natalia Cooper joins me. Natalia, the AFL security exemption for Castle and Collingwood.
They did the interview with Peter. The 2 AFLW teams will fly to Perth on charter flights over the weekend for their matches against the Eagles and the Dockers. They'll be tested, then they'll play the game before flying straight out. No quarantine is involved, which is great news for the players and for the AFL. But for all other travellers entering WA, they have to isolate for 7 days, not to mention the many other people who can't get into this state at all. So it seems there is one door
you fucking dog.
and another door for everyone else. Peter?
Thank you, Natalia Cooper. Max Warren has spoken out against Kane's son Goodwin has behaved inappropriately, saying he'll continue to drink with his coach. Fresh allegations emerged today that he bullied and berated a former staff member. Maggie Rayworth with the latest.
Bunching training and new accusations. Simon Goodwin appeared to be in good spirits as his skipper leapt to his defence.
There's stuff that we can't control. There's some stuff that's going on in the papers, but we've got a job to do.
Today, fresh bullying allegations against the reigning premiership coach, claims of a fiery exchange involving former club doctor Jishan Ray.
There are reports Goodwin berated the doctor over advice Angus Brayshaw needed to rest following a possible concussion. This coming after it was revealed the club considered sacking Goodwin over allegations of drinking, gambling and bullying.
The reference to the beer with the coach. I mean, have you got a beer with your boss? In terms of doing another beer, so too much here. Sorry, not too much of it, none at all.
With the membership coach in his final year of his contract, it's understood Goodwin's management and the club are in talks over a new one. It's likely the coach will be given at least an extra 3 years. Nine News contacted the AFL today, which reaffirmed its position, stating it was aware of the issues raised and comfortable with the actions taken. The Demons focused on the job at hand.
It's all roads leading to round 1 for Dollies on Wednesday night, and today wasn't affected by it, which is good.
Maggie Braidworth, 9 News.
Sydney's attempt to cash in on our Melbourne Cup has been branded a poor imitation. A new event named The Big Dance will be run just after the Cup, but the prize money alone is a poor second to the great race. Tony Jones with his absolutely unbiased report.
Sydney's sheer beauty is undeniable, but as a sporting city, it's long been in Melbourne's shadow. So this thing known as the Big Dance is Sydney's latest attempt to shed its wallflower image, but actually announcing it proved to be something of a hurdle. Now we need to look at can we really want to pay? For all the hoopla, the Big Dance is dangling only a $2 million carrot compared to the $8 million that the Melbourne Cup offers in the relevant stakes. It's a one-horse race. I don't think you'll, in the future you'll see certainly history written about, the road. What's it called? Big Dance words. In the same way that we celebrate great winners of the Melbourne Cup. Prominent Melburnians attacked the news by the hijack attempt. Melbourne Cup's been going since 1860. You can't have this, what is it called, the big prance or something. You can't just whack it in the microwave for 30 seconds and generate 160 years of history. Sydney has a different press sense. It doesn't have 4 seasons in a day, so it doesn't understand formal dress. I mean, you go to the ballet and they wear thongs. New South Wales attempts to steal Melbourne's marquee sporting events are as endless as their turnover in premiers. The Grand Prix, the Oz Open, the Grand Final. What next? Stealing the most successful NRL team in the year? Sydney, please. Imitation has to go with flattery, and this is a pretty poor imitation. But rest easy, my fellow Melburnians. Come that first Tuesday in November, we'll again stop the nation. Sydney can have its big dance. As the saying goes, dance like no one's watching. Tony Jones, 9 News.
Oh, that is a great day. Well, here he is, Tony Jones.
All very tiny and cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Pat Cummins sent down a couple of bouncers today that's coming up in sport because the skipper has finally opened up on the Justin Langer debacle. Now's the right time for a different direction, and it's a matter of opinion, but reading is the right one. Not only that, Cummins delivered a real clip to past players. Also tonight, from Warrandyte to debut, Scotty makes a big statement in the half pipe. Portland's new guard ready to step up, and we farewell Jack, one of racing's best.
Thank you, Tony. In the news ahead, a mechanic's been fined after a runaway petrol tanker killed 2 women and a 4-year-old boy. The Academy loves Lucy. Nicole Sperling as the TV legend bags her an Oscar nod. And the final twist in a Demons fan's grand final escapade.
What a piece of work. Because something which, suing her mother-in-law who reveals her family health, her family torn apart over months, a current affair tonight.
There's never been a more controversial question in the entire experiment.
Thank you.